What word comes to mind when you think about Windsor? For many of us, it's community. On July 12, 2007, a planning and zoning meeting was held at Town Hall to consider the merits of a new residential development within Windsor that will emphasize community and lifestyle. The meeting went over 2 hours. This brief program will cover the highlights so that you can see for yourself what happened at the meeting, why it happened, who was involved, and what the future might bring. And for further investigation, you can view the actual planning and zoning meeting now being broadcast on this station. Golf courses around the state of Connecticut are having a hard time. Course usage is down across the boards. No new courses are being built. Our own Traditions golf course has been offered for sale. The truth is that the course is too small to be competitive, and despite its well-financed pedigree, it's unlikely that it will continue in operation as an 18-hole golf course. Millbrook Greens, the project proposed for the Traditions golf course, emerged out of a growing realization that unchecked development on what would shortly be a 95-acre tract of unused property could potentially hurt the community. The property is zoned to allow for the construction of about 80 homes. An impact study concluded that if this were done, it would cost the town hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because the cost to educate the number of children in those homes would far exceed the tax revenue collected.
I've been in town for many, many years, most of my life, and I've seen some things change, sometimes for the better, but there are some things in town that have kind of fallen into disrepair. And my worry is that it's just going to become one of those situations.
As a homeowner living on the course, I've enjoyed the view of the course, and I would love to see Traditions be a vibrant, successful 18-hole course. However, living here and being a golfer, I've come to realize that Traditions is obsolete, it's insolvent, and it's inevitable that it'll close. So I think it's a great option for the survival of Traditions to go with this proposal.
So the town and the Millbrook Greens development team look to come up with a better way. Mark Steiner, who is proposing Millbrook Greens, is a well-regarded developer responsible for such projects as the unique Doncaster community in Bloomfield. After a national search, Mr. Steiner was also selected by the state of Connecticut to develop the large and environmentally complex Seaside Preservation District on the coast of Long Island Sound. In all, Steiner has been responsible for about $500 million in development around the state of Connecticut and elsewhere. Funding for Millbrook Greens is already in place, ensuring that what the group undertakes can be completed as planned. As a first step in creating the Traditions property, Mr. Steiner worked with town staff for nearly a year to create a new zoning regulation that would benefit the town while allowing this unique development to proceed. As a result, the regulation, Recreational Neighborhood Design Development, was unanimously approved by the town of Windsor on December 12, 2006. Since then, Steiner and his team of architects, engineers, environmental scientists, site planners, traffic engineers, golf course architects, and golf course consultants have worked hard to maintain the integrity of the new regulation. The architect, Martin Architectural Group from Philadelphia, is a firm nationally recognized for its work in designing housing. The landscape architect is Richter & Segan, located in Avon, Connecticut. The firm's work includes many public parks throughout Connecticut. More local and recent work includes the Gillette Greens development in nearby Bloomfield. Let's take a brief look at the project itself. Millbrook Greens is a 232-unit residential and recreational community with townhomes and condominiums. The condominiums will range in size from approximately 1,240 square feet to over 2,100 square feet. They'll be priced from the high 200s to the high 400s. The condominiums will not be age restricted. A new clubhouse will include a fitness center and a full-service restaurant serving lunch and dinner. There will also be tennis courts and a swimming pool, and a redesigned 9-hole golf course. The golf course and clubhouse will remain open to the public. It is anticipated that a special membership offer will be extended to Windsor residents. The Billy Casper Golf Company, currently managing 71 golf clubs throughout the United States, is expected to operate the golf course and clubhouse. When you enter the residential area, you'll be welcomed by the sight of a new pond. This pond and the stream that flows from it will purify the two existing ponds on the property. A number of waterfalls will be added to this striking vista. Walking areas, a butterfly garden, and plenty of reclaimed meadowland and wetlands will complete the area. Of course, none of these ideas would work unless citizen concerns could be appropriately addressed. So Steiner and his team embarked on a year-long listening campaign. Through heavily attended neighborhood meetings, our citizens conveyed ideas to Steiner about how he could make the Millbrook Greens project a major plus for Windsor.
It was clearly evident that these folks have poured a lot of money into a lot of research to make this a success. Everything I've heard since the onset has been truly impressive. They've taken the concerns of the town and its residents into mind and tried to incorporate them into the plan.
I think it's a project that the residents of Windsor should consider. I think there's an opportunity here to preserve the land, to build cluster housing, and also to provide amenities that residents in the town would have an opportunity to use, as well as the owners of the particular properties here would have an opportunity to use. I'm looking forward to reading and seeing more of the details to know if this is something that I could endorse, but I think it's something we should consider carefully.
Steiner's group ensured that the green space, wetlands, walking areas, and golf course provide a valuable site amenity from each home. But this was more than just an aesthetic choice. Golf courses typically consist largely of mowed and fertilized areas. Thus, while there may be no development on a golf course, they provide little habitat area. The open space at Millbrook Greens will restore 13 acres of the site to their natural state. Bridges and walkways will ensure that even in times of flooding, access will not be restricted. Steiner also put in a lot of thought about the impact the development might have on traffic, especially the second entrance that begins on Mack Street near the medical building. Through a clever consolidation of roadways, this somewhat confusing road will actually be improved at Steiner's expense. In addition, an exhaustive study by traffic engineers has concluded that the impact on traffic flow along Route 75 will be minimal.
As a proven fact, in any successful downtown type of atmosphere, you must have population density, and we think that this is a key element of this particular project. And based on the things that we've seen as far as the proposed architecture and the design and the style of the homes, these are going to be, I think, very, very, very nice residences, and seem that they will be well priced also within this marketplace. So all in all, we're excited at the possibility of this project moving forward.
The center of town hasn't seen a lot of traffic, but based on my research and the research that was done with Mark Steiner and his group, we're not even near capacity of some of the traffic regulations that have been set within the town.
The Bednar's farm has concerns that the golf course and residential units will generate complaints about the nature and hours of the farm's operation. These concerns have been addressed and will be fully explained at the next planning meeting. In creating a community in this manner, Steiner has helped the town and our schools to avoid the major financial hits that surely would have occurred if a conventional development scheme had been implemented. In fact, the Millbrook Greens community will create an increase of $1 million per year in tax revenues to Windsor, even after all town services allocable to this development are taken into account.
I've been a developer for about 35 years, and I like to, in each of my projects, bring something positive to the community that I'm developing in. And that's the reason that I'm very excited about what we're doing here in Windsor. We believe we've created a plan that will bring needed housing, valuable housing, will bring a new recreational amenity to the community that will be available to all residents of the communities. And we are also restoring about 13 acres of habitat area, which will of course be available to the wildlife once again. And in addition, this project will generate significant positive tax revenues for the town of Windsor. We look forward to becoming a part of the Windsor community.
Having recently met Mr. Steiner and having been told about his past developments, we feel reasonably comfortable that this would be a very well-run project.
When I first heard of the project, I came in with a little skepticism. I wasn't sure who these people were, and the more research I did about them, they've had many projects that have been very successful. I wasn't sure why they were choosing Windsor, and the more I learned about them was that they saw a great opportunity here in town. We have before us a tremendous plan that is truly going to raise, I think, Windsor's stature. And everything has been professional, genuine, and the extent in which they've gone to make sure all the kinks are worked out is truly wonderful.
When a large piece of property such as this one that has such close proximity to the town center, Lord knows there could be any number of different outcomes of a property such as this, and very likely many of them may not be as nice or as positive as what we think this one could be.
What was great about Mark's proposal is he didn't come in here and propose to close the course and just put in a large single-family subdivision. I thought that he had passion and vision and respected the feelings and concerns about all those that have emotions over this golf course. So I think it's really a win-win not only for traditions but also, again, for the town of Windsor as a whole.
There are a number of things that could happen to this property, but considering the alternatives, what would you do?